Friends, comrades, transport fever enthusiasts, I am Admiral Andre and I greet you back to my free game Let's Play. When we left off it was 1921, so let's keep the clock running. Our little airline company here is still just getting started, so we have no idea how this thing is going to develop. We've only got the 2 planes now. Let's just see, where's the one? There we go, gracefully flying over Athens there. And the journey time between the 2 towns, let's see if it's changed. It's still 12 minutes. I think that's what it was last time. So at least the people can have a reliable connection now over the mountains. We see somebody's waiting here now in Santa Rosa, our headquarters of course. I'll just put it on medium speed and let's see what happens. So at least that means we've got some interest now in our very nice looking red express buses. There we go, just turning around there. And actually I wanted to share something with you. Maybe you already know this, but I just discovered this yesterday. If you click on the budget tab, which is basically the company overview, and you go to logo, you can actually change the logo that appears on your vehicles. At the moment we only have no logo, Rainera Route, New Sangre Transports and B&S Railway Company. I've had a look at the different files. It's a TGA file I think, but I'm a bit confused as to how to make one myself, because it's actually one image but it's got a couple of different logos in it, which obviously will go to different sized vehicles, but I'm not quite sure how the proportions and things should work, so I'm still a bit lost on that one. But let's just for the sake of it put one of those logos on the vehicles just to see what it looks like. Let's take New Sangre Transports. It's a nice green color, just to see if it makes a visual difference. Oh yes, there we go. You see, this just says New Sangre Transports on the side. It doesn't have the actual image, so that's why the image needs different components when you are actually making your own logo. So I'll see if I can figure that out, because it would be nice for our little self-made campaign here to have a nice Admiral Airways logo, I think. It might be a good thing to get more buses, because it seems people are at least interested in taking the express, not necessarily to the airport or airfield. Athens, very quiet, sleepy little towns. I think financially we are going to struggle for a very long time. But I'm okay with that if we can just survive in the long term. Let's just have a look at other possibilities for connections. If we go back to the town's overview, just population, we see the largest town in the area is actually Alexandria, which is right there. And I think that would be our next connection, not St. Louis here, that's too close I think. So if we skip St. Louis and we go to Alexandria from Santa Rosa, I think we can really start ramping up some basic air transport services. Because then also if people from Athens want to go to Alexandria, they must go through Santa Rosa, our hub. But unfortunately the money is going to preclude that for a while, unless we decide to take on more debt, which may be the only option, I'm afraid. At least the people have a nice little park here. It could also be that it can't be that the routes are not regular enough. I mean, if now it's every 7 minutes, so it is dropping as they space themselves out. So seriously, they cannot complain about that. Actually, I've also thought about this, why is it 7 minutes, but when you see here it's actually months going by. I think that 7 minutes is real time, if I'm not mistaken. If we put it on the normal speed and we sit and watch, it will take 7 minutes. Which sounds very plausible, so there we go. How much debt do we have at the moment? Let me just not go to the logo. So we started with a 6.5 million loan, or 6 million, then I took out another 500 for the particular, buses and all of that, I think. So we can certainly take out more, but the problem is the loan interest. This is not like the campaign where we will not have to pay loan interest. So I'm a bit concerned, because already that 100,000 more or less of loan interest makes a difference to our yearly income there. So if we do take more debt, it will have to be a very cleverly invested amount of money. Hey, we've got passengers. More than one plane can actually handle. There we go. I think we're going to make it. It's just going to take a while. So let's speed things up. I think the years are going to pass very quickly in the beginning, because we just really have to get on our own feet and get this business running. So where is the plane? They're both on the other side still. And it's now 1922, so it's the roaring 20s. Air transport is just taking off, and the people are starting to come around to my way of looking at things. Because until now, as I have pretended at least, they've been very skeptical about this whole air passenger transport thing. So there's 2 more. If we can just get to the point where our airplanes are not running without any passengers, that will already make a big difference. 2 out of 3, that's something, and there we go, we had 2 people that we transported, and you can see immediately the income is actually looking good there. So what's happening in Athens? Not much other than that, I'm afraid. I don't think another bus here would be necessary. They are relatively on top of things. There's only 1 person waiting there, so it's fine. Let's see here. So Santa Rosa, we've got only 1 waiting there. Not a problem. The thing is just getting the people to the airport. That's why it's the Airport Express. But look at this. How many people do we have here? 6. So that's 2 airplanes full of people. And it's certainly not unreasonable for an airplane only to take 3 people. I mean, the very first, I actually looked this up, these Junkers F-13s, they could carry 4 people in real life. So I guess for balance purpose, it makes sense as well, 4 people with a pilot. There we go. And that one has our logo on it now, even though it's not our logo yet. NST. So the other thing is, of course, designing a logo that will actually work the color scheme with different paints on vehicles. I think that might be a challenge. So just finding a really universal logo that will work on a lot of different color schemes. Anyway, so at least we're starting off there. What else can we do now? Alexandria. If we try to just put an airport here, I just want to see how much it will cost given the terrain. So they will land from the north there. That's quite expensive. It's because all of these gradient lines are crossing it. And the way they do it is actually very nice. You see the dark line there? That is that's a minor contour, a 50-meter contour. The dark one on the hill there is 100 meters. So that is 100 meters above the terrain. Then the intermediate contours are 10 meters. So this already covers more than 10. No, that will not do, I'm afraid. The best we could probably get away with is the one. There we go, maybe something up here. 900 roughly. I think that could work, although I can already predict the airplanes will be passing through the mountain most likely, but you know, it's for gameplay purposes. So maybe up here, I think that could do. Let us actually take the leap. Let me pause it and go to the bank manager there in Santa Rosa and say, please look, this business has potential. If we look at our income so far, we've made Okay, less than $1,000 at present, but because it's a new year. Oh well, so please, can we have... Give us 2 million. No, not repay. Thank you very much. 1.3 because we were in the red, so that's acceptable. Thank you very much. I think just because we might let it run on the slowest speed, because at least this way we can have more of a market and hopefully we'll be growing relatively fast then. If I do it this way around, it's going to eat into that hill on the left, so let's do it like this, even though the road is on the other side. That's fine. There we go. I think that will make a nice clean approach to the largest town here. Then of course the country road. How is this going to go? Well, there is actually a road going along the side here, but that is a bit of a detour. I think it'll just have to extend out of the city right there. Let me just see if I can make a nice angle here. Have to see it from the side. No, just a nice straight angle, more or less. Obviously the terrain itself is now curving. It's not always the easiest to just get a straight road. That'll do. There we go. Then from here it can curve to the town, but I do want to follow the contour as much as possible. Okay, it's going to eat into the hill a little, but that's part of road construction. Okay, now again the same thing with the lovely bus stop area. Let me actually pause now, and the reason is just because the money will be going very quickly if I don't do that. This time if I just go again this way, something like that, then a little bit that way, and then straight back to the main road. There we go. Nice. I wonder if we'll be able to flatten this. I'll just check quickly. No. So it's just going to have this little bit of a hill in the middle in this park, so the benches must go around. That's fine. Just get the bus stop going. So let's take care of the essentials first before we look at the cosmetics. So that's the stop there, and then of course in Alexandria, where we will get some passengers taking the bus just for the intra-city transport, which is also okay. I mean, it's unavoidable even though it's an airport transport line. So let's say one there and there, then it's going to snake around. I would rather build more stops rather than fewer, even though it is a bit of a duplication. So I'm not going to go up this road yet. They still have to expand there. There we go. That'll cover the town very nicely, I think. So let's just set this line up from the airport or airfield through here, then there, then there. That doesn't look quite right. What's happening here? No, something is wrong here. Alright, just go back a few steps. Just take them all away, please. Start again. So we go from there, then obviously this is the first one. But then what happened here? Oh yes, it was this. No, but that's on the wrong side of the road again. What was I planning here now? Ah well, just remove it. That's what was throwing me off a bit. So we just say add station, then 13th Street, then Hickory Street, which is the main one. Then which way now? What is happening here now? I guess it'll just have to turn there, then come back. then go through there and then turn back. But now, is this making sense? Looks like it. Alright, I think that's fine. As long as they're all connected, it won't be an issue. So then I'm just going to close this, and we will need a road depot. Again, I click on the train stations. Let me try and put it here. Right by the airport again. There we go. Very easy to find it if I'm ever looking for it. Nice, there we go. So all our infrastructure is in one place in this town. And we just need to get a few buses going. So what will be the color for this one? We've got the Schneiders now, so let's use them. Let's say a very light blue. That will be nice. About 6 buses maybe. Ah, money. Well, I guess that limits our ambition, but I'll have to take out even more debt. I'm afraid this might just be a big failure. I need 2 more, please. And this is not yet named, so let me just name this line. Okay, XP will do again. We can't fit the whole phrase in there. Then one more thing, and that is the connection back to Santa Rosa and the purchase of at least 1 more aircraft, so we can just get this line going. Otherwise we won't be making any profit from it. Santa Rosa Alexandria. There we go. Now I guess another color for this one will do. Let's just see, what was the plain blue? I think a royal blue. So let's try a red for an airplane this time. Reasonably dark one. Let's try like almost a maroon color. Can I? Yes, alright. I know it's both at the same airport, but hopefully they'll space themselves out. There we go. We just need to get this up and running. We will go back into the red now, but the basics are taken care of. See, this green doesn't really work with that maroon, I think. Let's take that logo off rather. Yes, the no logo I think works better. You can see the words on the front there. That looks nice, but the green definitely doesn't fit with the maroon. So that will take a while for the people to get used to, but I think while everything gets running, let's just take a flight with this plane, see how it performs. I always love doing this. Yeah, so it's very doubtful now still if this will actually succeed financially. But that, if it does, it will certainly be a very good feature of this game, I think, that it has the freedom for you to just focus on one form of transport if you so desire. Well, that's a nice flight. Passing over St. Louis. I think it won't be too bad if we connect St. Louis to Alexandria with a short rail line or a tram line maybe. Just basically again as an airport express. Passing over the town so that the people can see the symbol of our company's success. And there we go. So I'll just jump out right here, and of course it leaves you exactly where you jump out, which is very nice. What is happening all over this map? Let's have a look. Got some people waiting here. That's nice. The buses are keeping up with the demand. Now there is one thing that I have noticed, that this single runway airport does have a very strict capacity. You see there, this one couldn't land now because the other one was on the runway, so it had to do a flyby or a fly around. And the more, of course, the more planes you have on any kind of airport or destined to any airport, the more the opportunity for such clashes will actually increase. And that means really that your lines will eventually not become very profitable, assuming they are to start with, because they have to spend a lot of time then flying around and trying to land again. We get the M300, but we won't use that here. And so then, of course, there's the chance that they might have to go around again. So that really is a bit of a problem. So we don't want to oversaturate our main hub airport. It's going to be a very long time, almost 60 years before we get the separate landing runway. So the dual runway airports, which can basically handle any amount of air traffic. And I guess it is a way of trying to just prevent people from overusing the air services, because they can be very profitable. So if you're just spamming everything with 100 airplanes to every city, it's going to really become so congested that you can't really succeed at it. So I suppose it is a way of trying to limit that. So if it does come to the point where this little dirt runway is no longer sufficient, we can always build another one. I mean, all of the big hub airports consist of anyway several runways and terminal buildings, so I wouldn't be finding that problematic. See, right now we can upgrade the number of terminals, which is of course going if you have several cities going. So it might actually be a good idea for our situation already to have 2 terminals if we could afford it. But because the people are still so few, they can share that terminal, both the lines. That's fine. I just want to see, when can we get the paved runway? Not in a few years, I think. 1950s maybe. And there comes another one. Which one are you? Are you red? I think so. No. Yes, it is the Alexandria one. The line is blue. That's what got me confused there. Right, let's see how this one goes back. Does it pass through the mountain? Certainly is becoming a busy little airfield. Greetings. Anyone interested in going? Maybe. We'll see when we get out on the other side, but I think somebody did get in. Coasting around. There's also an improvement I think they could make in terms of the airports, and that is, if an airplane is on approach for landing, just have the airplanes wait before they pass onto the runway, those that are already on the ground, because it's so many times that I've seen that just at the last second before landing, an airplane on the ground moves onto the runway and the other one must abort that's almost actually on the ground. So if they could just have them wait there 1 second, so somehow detect that there's an airplane on approach. We just got something unlocked. We just jump out here, and it is the Dornier Mercure. So that is the new fancy airplane that can carry 5 people, I think. Definitely something to look at very soon, but the price tag is a bit high, so nobody used this plane. And it doesn't pass through the mountain, it goes around, so that's good. I see some people standing there. Just go around, and there's the other one on approach now. So you see, if a plane is at that point now, the ones on the ground mustn't pass on to the runway. They must just wait for it to land. That would be nice. Hey, happy people, customers waiting. Because I know I've seen that if there's a plane that just landed and it's still on the runway, the other ones will wait right here. So they won't actually do this and now pass on to the runway. So they do that, but only if the plane has already touched down. And that could really avoid a lot of that kind of congestion where you have planes that can't land because the runway is always occupied. So that's just my 2 cents worth, I think. But maybe that is intentional, again, so that you eventually have to upgrade your airports. I certainly won't have a jet aircraft on a dirt runway. That's not what I want, and it will be a bad idea, I think. So jet aircraft, I think I'm only going to use on a paved runway. I wonder if you even can in the game use them on a dirt runway. Probably. So that means the Super Constellation will be our last kind of model that we can accommodate on these runways. I think at least our business is now starting to really get onto its legs here. But the money is the problem, and it would be so easy to just connect some industry or something and make some money off of that, or even a bus between towns, but you know that's what I want to avoid. I want to succeed at the airline business, but can I? That's the question. Well, things are looking good here in Alexandria. People are clamoring to take the buses. And let's see, so which town is closest to St. Louis? I think it is Alexandria. Obviously, if we just follow the road, we could see, okay, that's not very far. But that's not very far either, so it wouldn't matter really. Maybe it would even be a better idea to connect it directly to the airport at Santa Rosa. And what do we get? Ah, the 412-2 Class 9000. Very impressive locomotive, but again not for our purposes. And our little business is slipping deeper and deeper into the abyss. Let's look at these charts. What do we see? Towns. So these are all the towns that we are serving. Tracks, we don't have any. Interesting. Well, I guess this still shows like the kind of focus this game does have essentially on railroads, because they show you your tracks, not all of your lines like the airplanes, but it's fine. So the towns do seem to be growing, but it's also because we connected another one, so it looks just like it's more people now. So I am wondering, I'm very much wondering. I think we have more demand really than we can carry already. If we take 2 planes with 3 passengers, that's 6 people per round trip. And there's already more than 6 waiting. So if we did change for one of the planes, or both of them maybe, to that Dornier Mercure model, maybe that would be a better financial option for us. But again, we must take out more debt in order to do that, which is a problematic thing. Well, it is only an experiment, so maybe this won't really go anywhere, so it's still up in the air. Look at all of these people. It's funny, up in the air because it's an airline. I make puns without knowing it. You see, there is a demand. There we go. You see, again, it must fly over. The other one could have just waited 1 second there. Now it must go all the way around. But I guess that is also okay. It is part of flying. Sometimes you just have to go into a bit of a holding pattern for a little while. No, you know, this is a real problem. This is not going to work. And our loan interest is now 135,000 a year, which means that the bit of income that we are getting from the air, 167 at the moment, is mostly being chewed up just by our debt repayments. And then that excludes everything else, the running costs and all of that stuff. Oh dear, well. I may actually have to cheat a little bit, in the sense that I'm gonna connect St. Louis and Santa Rosa. I don't know how many people. 244. And Santa Rosa at the moment 159. So it would be more sensible to connect it to the larger town. Well, okay, look at it like this. We are not going to connect St. Louis to the air, to an airport itself. That would just not make any sense. I mean, it would take you almost faster to walk there just to the town than to fly, because you still have to land and all of that. So it's too close. So we have to connect this somehow to the network. And what I'm going to do actually is, now of course we need money to do that. Okay, let's do it. Oh, but we're at million in debt, so that means we're going to have to take a huge amount of money just to get this. Oh well, let's just do it. Borrow 2 million more, please. Thank you. Absolute madness, but there we go. So, now we have a little bit of money to play around with. So I'm going to build an airport tram system from St. Louis to the airport in Alexandria, which I still have to rename. It's an airfield anyway. Naturally, most of the people from St. Louis will want to go to Alexandria itself, not the airport, which means they will have to wait for the buses to take them into town, but that's okay, because I'm staying true to my mission, which is to connect it to the airport, since I'm playing an air company. So that's the thing. I don't want to cheat. I just want to find a way to direct people to the airport, but if they want to take a bus back to town, that's their business, right? So I'm going to build a nice paved road with tram tracks here, and if I can get away with it, a nice tunnel through this hill. So let's see if it's possible. Okay, so we are on upgrade, and I want the electric tram, and it must cover that area, and that one doesn't have to cover that part. No, we'll build a separate tram depot, I think. No, I don't want to connect the whole thing to the town, so let's build a branch now somewhere here, and then it will connect back. So maybe it would be better to start on this end. It would be something impressive, don't you think? A tram line with a tunnel. Oh my. Well, that's not what I had in mind. It looks nice, but 2 million. No. This will not do at all. If we put it, no, here, still 1,600,000. Well, maybe we'll just have to go through the town then. It's fine, just as a temporary measure. So from there we just do this again. It's going to cost much less to just do this and then later remove the tram tracks from the town center. Or always it would be possible to build then a tram line into Alexandria from the airport there. That's also a possibility, so I'll just put it through the town. I'll even pave their roads for them. There we go, something like that. But I'll leave the buses here for now. It's very early, it's way too soon to replace them now. So now, somewhere in St. Louis, I would like to get one of those bigger stops maybe. I don't really use them actually, to be honest. Mostly I just use these normal stops, not these bigger ones. And it would actually be interesting to have a look at a tram station with multiple passenger terminals. What does this even look like? Let's check it out together. Unfortunately I can't see much unless I place it. But we don't need multiple terminals here. Tram station with 2 terminals, that will be fine. Now, just to connect it somewhere. That actually covers most of the town already. That one is also good. It's difficult to say because I'm always a bit reticent to just remove these buildings, but sometimes it's necessary. Let's just try and align this better first. Here we go. So again, the old trick of just building a single road here so that we don't demolish more than one building. No, small one will be fine. Something like that. Then we can just have one or so bus services running in this town so that it connects to this tram station, which I believe will be extremely popular. Now it does want to remove that on the other house there. Oh well, we'll just have to live with that. And it still covers almost all of the town. So initially I think this will be fine. We don't need a bus at first. Shall I avoid that house? Okay, I will spare your house. But now hold on. Why are there no tram tracks there? Because I didn't select them. But luckily we can upgrade. We don't have to demolish things. There we go. St. Louis Transfer. I think that's a nice name. Let's just upgrade the rest of this town to pass back to Alexandria. Something like that. And then we just do it the normal. Oh, it's already done. Here we go. Okay, I think that's fine. Now we just have to build the actual tram depot. We still have money, so maybe we can pay some of it back first. Now let's find a nice spot for this one. Also somewhere here along the road maybe. Just like that. Very nice. There we go. All of our infrastructure together. Just one more line I have to set up, which is then the new line from there we go, and to there. That should work. And I'm fine with not using one of those bigger stops here, because I guess that's the whole point, is to have this as a bit of a park. I know people will just line up here, but still, if it gets too crowded, then I will certainly make a bigger stop, which is probably a better long-term plan anyway, to demolish this little circle here and just build a nice big terminal for all of the buses and things. But right now, that is just a bit far ahead. We don't have that much demand yet. And we don't want it because our airplanes can't carry that much. So this will be... No, actually this is the St. Louis Airfield Express, and the airfield is of course the one in Alexandria, but the people will know that since St. Louis won't have its own airfield. And what are our options now? Okay, we've got two. We've got the old San Diego electric trolley, which I will definitely not take, and then the Peter Witt streetcar, which will do. 35 kilometers an hour is not the best, but I think it's fine. So let's pick a nice color for this. Let's say this sort of a light green. That'll do. How many can we get? 5 maybe? Something like that maybe. Alright, let's just set them on their way. Then, we've got 343. Am I being crazy? Just too little for the Dornier Mercure. So let's just run the clock again. Very nice. Oh, stop. We had a small windfall there, so let me buy the Dornier Mercure. And this one I'm going to put... What was the color for this line again? I think it was the maroon. So let us make that the same color. And so, the Dornier Mercure was a German passenger aircraft built in the Dornier factories in Friedrichshafen. So that was until 1960. Very interesting. 5 passengers and a bit faster than our other planes. So I think this is a good investment, to be honest, since this will be the most important town that we're connected to thus far. Then I just want to name this fancy beast here. Look at that. It's actually like the metal has that reddish color. That's so interesting, this color scheme. So this aircraft I want to actually call, because this is now our flagship, so we must always have a flagship. So this one is the Empress of the Skies. There we go, and we'll market it like that. What do you think? This will be like our marketing thing. This is the flashiest airplane in the fleet. And it's actually a very interesting design if we just look. Obviously the passengers will sit all there in nice comfort and everything, you know, all enclosed. But the pilot is actually peeking out there under the wing. Do you see there? Ah, there's my buzzer going off again. I've been rambling too long. So the pilot is actually, he still has to use his goggles because he's sitting in the open there, essentially. But I think it's just so interesting that he's on another level than the passengers. Ah well. So there's the great majestic Empress of the Skies. Let's just follow her to Santa Rosa, and then I'll end the video there. Maybe some of these people, yes, of course, because they are waiting, so they will be the first ones with the honor to fly in this majestic plane. What a fancy beast. All aboard. I wonder what these flights were like. Certainly no safety information, and well, there might have been some information, but not those displays where they have, if the airbag falls down, you must do this, help yourself first before you help other people. The emergency exits are to your rear, whatever the case may be. See, now this one should have waited a little. Actually, I could have told it to, but it's too late now. That one will still do a flyby. At least it's nice how they do that. So there we are, the Empress of the Skies. I would fly on this plane. Most certainly. An amazing marvel of technology. The people cannot believe their eyes with this magnificent beast. And it's such a large airplane too. Again, we have to roleplay a little, you know, put yourself in the era. What a great, majestic airplane this is. The people can sit there looking out of the windows at the poor folks on the ground who have to walk. So let's just speed along and land and end this episode. And the Empress makes her first visit to our home in Santa Rosa. And everyone looks up in amazement at this majestic bird. And there we go, she lands beautifully. Alright then, that should do for this episode. We've got a nice market there already. People very interested in flying. And the streetcars are making their way. We already have people waiting. And my hope is this will actually turn out to be highly profitable, because really the people want to visit Alexandria and not the airport. Maybe eventually. But now they still have to then make use of the buses as well, giving us more money. So there we go. It's a marketing plan, I guess. So see you in the next episode. Do leave me some comments and have a fantastic day.